The next session is going to be about being bold and loud and not being shy when you are venturing into business. For this, we have Mr. P.C. MUSTHAFA, CEO and co-founder of ID Fresh Food India Private Limited. Mr. MUSTHAFA, please. Delegates, please note that you will have to use the Menti platform for the Q&A session later. And I hand over the stage to Mr.
Thank you.
MUSTHAFA.
In the name of God, peace be unto you. Thank you for inviting me here. It's such a great honor to be here among all these great leaders and superstars. I am P.C. MUSTHAFA, and here is my story. I come from a very remote village in a beautiful place called Wayanad in Kerala. My village was so remote that we had no electricity in my village. We had no roads in my village. My dad was a coolie. As my dad was finding it difficult to meet both ends of the family, I ended up doing coolie job at the age of 10 with him. Government's midday meal scheme was the biggest motivation factor for me to attend the school. I had to walk miles to my school. 3-time meal was a distant dream during my childhood days. Breakfast was a luxury. I was very poor in my studies. I was a school dropout. I later went back to school and became a school topper in less than 1 year. I then ended up doing my engineering and computer science from NIT Calicut by chance. I got a placement offer from a company called Manhattan Associates in Bangalore. After seeing my campus offer, my dad felt it was my annual package, not my monthly package. It was actually more than his lifetime savings. I handed over my first month's salary to my dad, and he literally cried seeing that money because he had never seen that kind of money in his lifetime. I then worked with few MNCs in India, Middle East, and Europe. I decided to come back to India with an objective of creating employment for smart kids from my village. I then ended up doing my MBA from IIM Bangalore by choice this time. I joined my cousins to create a company called ID. Our job was to go to market every day, buy rice and dal, come back, clean it, soak it, wash, grind, mix, ferment it, pack it, and then load it on a TVS scooty and go ourselves in the market and sell it ourselves. We started this company in a small kitchen in a place called Indiranagar in Bangalore, in a 50 square feet kitchen with an investment of 50,000 rupees. All we had was a grinder, a mixer, a weighing scale, a sealing machine, and a second-hand TVS scooty. Our job was to go to market every day with this TVS scooty and sell batter ourselves. It was not an easy job. Our shirt would be soaked in the sweat. But then it was a fulfilling job. Today, ID is a 1,000 crore fresh food brand serving world's best breakfast, idlis to 1 million Indians every single day. How did we create this brand called ID without spending money? In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share a couple of stories with you from my real life experience. And I hope these stories will help you in your life to become better leaders and better human beings. ID was built on some basic principles, and these are the DNA of ID. Let me just explain to you quickly. We did set up our own distribution system. We go to every store every day with every product and replenish it every day with our own distribution system. That really worked for us. Our product was our hero. We didn't have a Shah Rukh Khan as our brand ambassador. Our product was my hero, even today. Now, it's extremely important to do the product selection. Do not over-engineer. An Indian homemaker is a gatekeeper for the kitchen. We know that. An Indian homemaker will not buy a idli from outside and serve to the family. She is okay to buy idli batter and cook fluffy steaming idli and serve to the family. If idli comes out well, she gets a credit, not ID. And if for some reason, if idli is hard, blame goes to me, brand ID. It is extremely important not to replace your customer. We learned that from day one. So product selection is extremely important. Do not over-engineer. Never try to sell idli to a homemaker in India. Give her idli batter. Third, we had the right mix of people in the team. We had people from entrepreneurial experience and professional experience. It was extremely important for us to get this right mix from day one. The fourth, ID runs on IT. Every store is geo-tagged, geo-fenced. We capture last 8 years of data, and we use this data to predict the right demand for the right store for the right day. When we started, we were sending 100 packers to markets. 90 used to come back unsold. Over a period of time, we ended up getting 25% wastage from the market. There was no way for me to make this business profitable with such a huge wastage. That's where we implemented technology. Today, in a matured city, in matured product, we run at less than 1% wastage using technology. That's the power of technology. Branding and packaging played an extremely important role for ID. And to me, that's the cheapest way of marketing. Get your package right. We got it done from day one. As you all know, there is no rocket science in making idli. Anybody can start the idli. With just on 1 lakh rupee, all of you could start an idli business from tomorrow. For us to scale a business to 1,000 crore fresh food brand and make it sustainable, it is extremely important for us to continuously innovate and upgrade. Innovation plays an extremely important role for ID. And that's where one of the topics I'm going to talk to you today. And last but not least, uncompromised approach on ethics. That's something which we did from day one, and will be proud to narrate the story to my grandchildren one day in future, that we've never compromised on ethics. Let me now get into my story. My first subject is something very uncommon in the market, which is common sense. It is very difficult to find in the market these days. We end up complicating everything, when the only thing needed would be common sense. Even when we started ID, we used common sense. We didn't go to an R&D lab. We didn't do market research. We went to homemakers in Chennai to identify world's best idli batter. And even today, we continue doing that. We don't need to complicate the matter. It took us 10 years to reach 1 million households every day. That's when we thought we should keep innovating more. What goes best with idli other than vada? For a South Indian homemaker, for South Indian homes, a breakfast is incomplete without an idli, vada, and a filter coffee, right? That's when we thought we should do something about vada. As we all know, vada goes best with idli. It's a great snack. Kids love vada. But then unfortunately, it's one of the most difficult snacks to make at home. Unless you're an expert like your grandmother. You can't get the shape right for the vada. Even if I give you vada batter, you can't make the vada at home. It is not easy. You can't get the shape right for the vada. You can't get the size right for the vada. And most importantly, we Indians don't eat a vada without a hole in the middle. The hole in the middle is the most important part for the vada. New generation homemakers, like most of you out here, will end up frying fingers while frying the vada. We identified this as an issue in the market. We used common sense to identify this gap in the market. We then used common sense to put a hole for the vada. Today, a homemaker can make vada at home untouched by hand. In no time, this, which is 100% natural, no chemicals, no preservatives, nothing else in it. It took us 3 years to build a hole for the vada. but it paid off. Let me not show you how the vada, I'm sure some of you would have seen this vada video. Let me just play that for you. Volume, please. Today, a homemaker can make vada untouched by hand using ID vada batter. World call it innovation. Techies like some of you out here call it 3D printing of vada. We used our common sense. We used our common sense to identify a century-old problem. We used our common sense to put a hole for the vada. Now my first message to you is, do not complicate the matter. Identify issues like vada in the market. It's okay, you will fail, but over a period of time, you will succeed. We have done that, and it worked. We had created a vada video, which went viral across the world last year. We did not spend even 1 paisa in marketing it. It was one of the most viral videos on WhatsApp last year. It took us to Harvard. It took us to United Nations with the vada video. Vada helps. Coming to my second story is all about trust. As we all know, idli is the most nutritious food in the world. These are not Mustafa Peace's words. The World Health Organization is saying that. I was trying to sell idli batter in a pouch. How many of you have tried ID batter? How many of you trust a product which comes in a pack? Almost zero. This is a common issue across. We Indians don't trust a packaged food. I was trying to sell 100% natural, no chemicals, no preservatives, no soda batter in a pouch. People don't trust. We tried different campaigns, nothing worked. My biggest problem was that I want my customers to trust me. What is the best way for someone to trust you? What is the best way for someone to trust you? Trust them. Trust them so they will trust you back. So we tried this beautiful campaign called ID Trust Shop. We set up 35 trust shops in different parts of India. Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Mumbai. These shops had no camera. It was not a vending machine. There was no salesperson. There was no technology. There was no security. There was no one watching except the Almighty God. All you need to do was to open the chiller, as you see in the picture. Take your favorite idli batter, drop the money in the money box kept next to it, go home and have a healthy breakfast. This shop was based on trust. Our customers were surprised with the campaign. They couldn't believe it. It got us a great brand mileage. All we tried was to trust our customers. All the brands talk about most trustworthy brand in the world. But then, do we really trust our customers? No. So that's when we thought we should trust our customers so that they would trust us back. It really paid off. Was it that easy? Not really. In a shop near Porur in Chennai, this was what we expected. And this is what we got. Right? You can see that. We ended up getting monopoly currency from some of the trust shops. What did we do? We didn't give up. We continued our experiment. We didn't want to give it up. Same customers who were cheating us would have probably felt guilty and started depositing 500 rupees notes and made it profitable. This shop, some of the shops were more profitable than a retail store. It started giving us more revenue per store than a retail store. It paid off. Trust paid off. So what I'm trying to tell you out here is, it is extremely important for us to think beyond in branding, in creating a brand. The brand ID was built on trust. The brand ID was built on innovation. Let me just now show you one of the classical examples where we used innovation in a marketing campaign and how it all paid off. You might be finding it difficult or you might be finding it tough that you can't really brand an idli. You can't build a brand out of an idli business. But we proved it wrong. We proved some of the emotions which really worked for us. So, ID brand was built on 3 important parameters: product, experience, and stories. Let me just take the classical example of vada again. As I mentioned earlier, my product is my hero. The vada that comes out of the vada batter is really crispy outside, soft inside, yummy, and the mouthfeel after eating the vada is so superb that people come back to me. So that was extremely important for me to focus on, which is the product. It is not just product. It is extremely important for us to create an experience for end consumer. Having created a vada batter, I could have actually given them vada. But we didn't give them vada, we gave them vada batter so that they will make their vada by themselves. And the moment of truth, when the vada batter comes out in the round shape, that was the aha moment for most of the customers, which they will remember for their lifetime. Most of the kids started making vada using ID vada batter and posted selfies on different platforms, including Insta and LinkedIn. That really paid off. So creating experience for end consumers is extremely important. And the last one, the powerful stories in making a vada. It took us 3 years to build a hole for the vada. That became a case study at Harvard Business School. It is not by chance, it is by choice. So to create a brand, focus on 3 aspects: product, experience, and powerful stories. Let me now demonstrate to you how did we do it with one product or one marketing campaign. Can you put the lights off, please? Sorry, before I start, how many of you have called up your mom today? How many of you would have called up your mom today? How many of you would have got a call from your mom today? What would be their first question to you today? Sapatacha. Sapatya, right? Let me show you how Sapatacha works. Can I?
Hi, Ma.
बेटा खाना खा लिया?
Mama, meeting is just about to start.
Oh, okay. Good luck, बेटा. खाना खा लेना, okay?
Okay, Ma, talk later. Bye. Sorry, guys. Hi, Ma.
Hi, बेटा. Work done?
Yeah, Ma. I'm going out अभी.
बेटा कुछ खा लेना.
हाँ, खा लूँगी. Okay, bye. Hi, Ma.
Breakfast किया ना आदि?
I'm running very late. And oh, I won't be coming home this weekend. Bye.
Hello, Adi.
Hi, Ma. Why are you calling so late?
बेटा I called.
Ma, I'm very stressed at work. I can't talk right now. Anything urgent? Okay.
He's sure that you can do anything.
Ma? Ma? I called you so many times. Why didn't you pick up?
I've been sick, beta.
Ma, you've been sick and you didn't even tell me.
I didn't want to disturb you.
Ma, I'm very stressed at work. I can't talk right now. Anything urgent? माँ आपने खाना खाया?
It is such a coincidence that the young boy who was not able to afford to eat a breakfast during his early days is running a company along with his cousins and feeds millions of Indians every day with the world's best food, idli. We focused on common sense, we focused on innovation, and we focused on trusting the customers. My message to all of you is, be the change you wish to see in this world. I repeat, be the change you wish to see in this world. If you want someone to trust you, trust them so that they will trust you back. Thank you again for this great opportunity. God bless you all. Jai Hind. I'll be happy to take few questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa. That was quite an enriching and informative session. Please
Thank
give
you.
him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I think many of us have a lot of questions to ask you, but I shall take the first lead and I want to have a rapid fire with you.
Oh, go ahead.
So we are going to have a rapid fire round with Mr. Mustafa. Let's give him a round of applause. I think these are questions which many of you would have wanted to ask him, so I'm going to ask these questions on a rapid fire round mode. Number one, how do you describe yourself in 3 words?
I think I'm determined, I'm focused, and spiritual.
Name one person who inspires you the most.
My dad. Because if he's a classic example of determination. If he can manage to take his kid to this level, I think all of us can do wonders in this world.
What has been life's greatest lesson for you?
Don't waste your time. That's the most important thing.
How do you define...
Because I wasted 8 years of my time, 8 years of my life working in IT field.
How do you define success?
Success to me is all about inner self. As per my spiritual learning, if the one who purifies his inner self will become successful in this world and the world hereafter. And those who corrupts will become failure in the entire world. So, focused on the inner self, not just the money.
Well said. If you add a small quantity of soda or preservative, nobody will notice it. What is stopping you from doing that?
That's not true. Almighty God will watch me every time. He's watching me every time. My customers may not, government may not, but the Almighty God will.
What is the biggest joy of your life?
I think the joy of giving is unparalleled to any other joy that I experienced in my life. The more I give, the more I get. It is difficult to believe, but I've experienced it myself. If you're not experienced in life, I invite you to experience it today. The more you give, the more you get.
You did engineering and computer science and MBA from IIM Bangalore. Are you really proud of what you're doing, or are you shy?
If somebody can create $1 billion business from a junk food called bun and take it to the entire world and brand it. Right? Why should I be shy in promoting world's best breakfast idli to the entire world? I think we should be proud of it.
Well said, well said. Do you think there is a large enough opportunity for idli mavu business in India?
Let's do a role play. What's the population of Chennai? 1.3, 1.2, right? 1.2 crores?
Okay,
Right?
I'm a Singaporean, I don't know the answer. You all
1.2
must
crores
help me.
approximately. And every Chennaites eat 21 meals in a week. Right? As per our study, 5 to 6 meals contains either idli, dosa, uttapam, set dosa, whatever combination. Right? And every meal you eat 3 to 4 idli or dosa. 2 to 3 dosa or 3 to 4 idli, depending on your level. Now, if I just do a simple math with it, 6 meals into 4 idli, 24 idli per person per week, into 1.2 crore, which is close to around 30 crore idli in a week, divided by 7, which is a 3 crore idli in Chennai per day, right? Can you find a better business than idli in the world?
Good. Okay, I think the next question, I know the answer, but I'll still ask you, is it really sustainable in the long run?
How many of you had idli today? I had idli today. Whenever he could afford, my grandfather used to eat idli. I want my grandson to eat idli in future. Can you find a better sustainable business than idli in the world? You can't. Idli is the most sustainable business in the world.
I heard that you were very shy in your initial days. How did you become a public speaker?
I was very shy. During my engineering, I had to present a seminar. I was well prepared on a very technical subject. The moment I stood in front of my faculty, I could not speak even a single word. I came out crying. That day, I was determined that I will become a public speaker in my life one day. In the last 2 years, I started practicing with the help of a coach from IIM Bangalore. It took me just 2 years to reach Harvard Business School as a speaker and United Nations after that. So I think it shows the power of determination. Now, don't clap. I'm still shy. I'm still feeling nervous inside, but I've practiced to hide it from you all today.
How do you stay healthy and stay fit? Idli.
What you eat is what you are. There are two kinds of people in the world. There are people in the world who are not able to afford to eat a breakfast. I was one among them during my childhood days. Then there are people like you and me who do not have time to eat breakfast. We end up skipping our breakfast, which is the most important meal of the day, or compromise with some junk food. What you eat is what you are. Eat fresh, stay fresh. If you end up eating idli with soda, you become that person, right? If you, on a lighter note, eat ID idli.
What was your experience in sharing the idli story at Harvard and United Nations?
I think it was a great experience. I was very nervous, but then I think I got a lot of support. I was well prepared, and my Harvard talk became viral. It was one of the most viral story at the Harvard Business School last year. It was a great experience. It got us a great brand mileage as well. And moreover, at some great extent, right? Success gives you confidence. Success gives you confidence, that's a fact.
What is the future of ID?
So over last 10 years, we decided to fight a war against preservatives and chemicals in the food. And to some great extent, we managed to touch the life of a million Indians every day with a healthy food. Today, organic is not affordable. Organic is not trustworthy. Organic is not available. So we are now working on a dream, which is ID 2.0, to build organic products in an affordable range. In fact, we want to keep the same price range as on today and make it affordable and available for everyone under the brand ID.
There are three kinds of people here in this group. People who are running a business, people who want to start a business, people who are scared to start a business. Give me one advice to each of them.
So what was the first category?
Number one, people who are running a business.
Okay.
Number two,
Okay, people who are running the business, how many of you are running the business now? Stay focused. Stay focused. Extremely important. You get n number of ideas from different people. Stay focused. Next point.
number two, people who want to start a business.
How many of you want to start a business? Don't wait for tomorrow. Never happens. Do it today.
Number three, people who are scared to start a business.
How many of you are scared to start a business? No one? They're scared to raise the hand as well. Okay, it happens. And you have to be extremely careful about it. Okay, I'll do this role play with you today. You not running a business, right?
I'm not running a business.
Okay. He didn't raise his hand, by the way. Did you notice? Okay. What is the most important day for you in a month?
What is that?
Most important day for you in the month?
Sunday.
Sunday. In a month, not in a week.
Salary day. Payday.
Yeah, the day you get that message from the bank saying that your account is credited to the bank, or your money is credited to the bank account, the salary is credited to the bank account, that's the most important day for a professional. It was the same case for me as well. Today, that's the most difficult day for me. Because I need to run around, arrange money, and pay to my employees. The day you have the courage not to look at your SMS from the bank, saying the salary is credited, that day you will get the courage. Next.
How many times have you failed in life and what have you learned from it?
I have failed. It's been, what? 4,000 days that I've started ID business. I think I've failed minimum 4,000 times in the last 12 years. Now, even if you take Vada as an example, we failed 100 times. 100 times to put a hole for the Vada. We failed. But we didn't give it up. We learned from the experience. Today, we are able to take the right distance from our experience. But we gained experience from our past failures. All of us celebrate success in the company, right? Again, people who are running the company, please raise your hands. How many of you celebrate success in the company? My request to all of you is start celebrating failures. The day you start celebrating failures, you will find products like Vada in the market. Start celebrating failures. Reward them for failures. That's the only way to create a product like Vada.
Now, the last question. In spite of all these successes, how do you stay humble?
Why should I be not humble? I came to this world empty hand, nothing, right? And when I leave this world, I will not carry anything with me. So I think I have to be humble always. But then, let me just share a story that I just shared on LinkedIn last month, which had close to around 13 lakh views in the last few weeks. This is a story of my dad. My dad used to tell me all these lovely moral stories, which I used to understand nothing out of it during those days. So he had shared one story with me of a mango tree. So we had a mango tree in my house. And during the mango season, he used to point on a particular branch of mango tree and ask me, look at the branch of mango tree. Why is it so close to the ground? Why is it grounded? And then I said, there are a lot more mangoes on this, maybe that's the reason. Then he said, yeah, that's right. When you have more mangoes, you should become grounded. I did not understand the ABCD of that. I did not understand anything out of that. Recently, I was very lucky to spend few hours with Azim Premji and Bill Gates. That's when I understood the real meaning of my dad's advice. They were so humble. They would listen to you. So, I believe such stories and such teaching during my childhood days really helped me to stay where I am today. And moreover, the moment I step out of this one and become egoistic, I believe this will collapse. So, my experience is, no matter where you reach, stay humble. And that will take you to a better world. And that's extremely important in life.
Thank you, Mr. Mustafa, for
Thanks
that
a lot.
wonderful rapid fire round.
Thank
I
you.
think all of you will have questions to ask as well. So log on to menti.com and you can post your questions and Mr. Mustafa will answer those questions, selected questions. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So, should I just answer the question? I think I already answered. It was that the salary day, I had to give up the urge to look at the messages from the bank. I think the day I had the courage to not look at the messages from the bank and be prepared to pay salary, to run around and raise money and pay salary to employees, I think that's the day I got the courage. What is the level of influence in running the business from your external investors? Not really. They don't get into your business. In fact, they don't want them to run the business. They want you to run the business. Business investors, I'm talking the right investors, they don't get into your business. But they act as sounding board. I think in my case, they have not influenced me in running the business, but then it helped me a lot in terms of improving my systems. It helped me a lot in terms of building a better network. It helped me a lot in terms of bringing proper systems, MIS in place. Next. Who asked the question? Why don't you start it? I'm serious. Why don't you start it? Go ahead. Don't wait for tomorrow. No, I learned about this community only yesterday. So, Muthu sir, you will have to help me to get this idli to my home, please. Why don't you become my consultant? Please, we want. Yeah, sure. Can I? Can I take the question from here? Mike. Okay, I'll take this question. What's your approach towards sustainability in your business in terms of resource consumption? If you're talking about sustainability for idli business, I think I talked to you already about it. Idli is the most sustainable business in the world right? So there's no sustainability questions in terms of business opportunity. In terms of resource consumption, even though I touch the life of 1 million people with healthy food on a daily basis, I really feel guilty for polluting this earth with plastic bags every day. It's almost like 1 lakh of plastic bags which is going to market every day. So I really feel guilty for that. If any of you have any ideas, please write to me. I'll be happy to implement that in ID, because I want to make this difference in the world before I die. My advice to young entrepreneurs who have started the business already, I hope, please focus on 2 important aspects. One is profitability, second is cash flow. Don't compromise on these things.
And can I ask my question?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. So basically, have you ever faced a situation like this? You know, like you had an idea and someone else like copied your idea, and what you did about it actually?
Okay, so I'll give you a story of mine. This was during my days in Middle East. Any of you have stayed in Middle East? Okay, so the ISD calls from Middle East to India is very expensive. I used to call up my dad and look at the time. When it's like 58 seconds, I used to disconnect. Otherwise, it becomes second minute, right? We used to pay per minute. So that time, I had this very crazy idea that I want to do something about it. So I created or prototyped a product to talk to my parents, share audios, videos, and messages and photos over mobile. But then somehow I didn't start. Around 7-8 years ago, I happened to download a green-colored app which had all these features that I had envisaged at that time, which I had envisaged like 15 years ago. And I think around 4 years ago, I happened to read about the blue-colored app taking over the green-colored app for a whopping $3 billion. That's my opportunity cost for not doing the right thing at the right time. So I had this idea. So that was copied from me, I believe. Last question on the screen is what they're saying. Do you have a brand consultant or your own ideas? It is never my own idea. It's a team idea. It's a team which makes it work. Are we done? Thank you again for this great opportunity. God bless you all. Jai Hind.